as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker, on the grill we're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge! What is up, everybody? How are you fine people doing on this fine day? I want to let you guys know what's up, why I'm here, why the Waffle Lodge has been reactivated. Because, and that's why there was only one trailer, this is my first stream in a while from StreamYard, so it's not a high-resolution stream. What is up, Stephen Rockwood Drawing? There will be boobs, as always. I'm certainly here, and it's great to see you, brother. It is great to see all of you channel members. I'm back in StreamYard because I had the epiphany the other day that Eric Weathers has got a campaign going. I know I've got friends who've got campaigns going. So I said, I've got to get in StreamYard. Got to get the minimal version of it I can get so that I can have people on to talk about their books, but also so that I can do fun things like screen share or things like that when I want to. So I want to say what's up to my channel members. First of all, Stephen Rockwood with his heart and his head in the right place as always. God bless you. The wonderful channel member Tamier. I tip my glasses to you, my lady, and I'm looking forward to seeing you later on Double Impact. Cranberry Langers, God bless you. It is great to see you here. I hope you are doing well. We have got Citizen Ronan in the house, of course. We have got John all over the place. We got Leg Kick 1. It is great to see you, Leg Kick 1. Do we have any more channel members up in here? Let's see, Citizen Ronan, Fritzy Schnitzel, Soda Stream, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Brown, Black Cherry, Cherry Wine, anything, Cherry Wine, Mr. Pibbs, A&A Cream. Gosh, bless you. I love your soda knowledge. Pennsylvania Dutch, Birch Beer, Bring It On, I Am Thirsty, Amen. And I am sober as a preacher, so, as always, nothing new there. So I am drinking soda because I thought I deserved one. Jeremy Burtz, you rock star. It's great to see you, channel member in the house. We have got channel member Michael Bancroft up in here saying, Hail, Shanth, hail to you, my friend. I'm in StreamYard, so if you ever feel like popping in here, and I know you're probably working, you can, because I'm going to get down to brass tacks. We have, another channel member before I could even get started, Timmy Mello up in this, saying, oh my lord, I cannot totally pronounce that, but good afternoon, friends, and I say good afternoon to you, Timmy, you legend. So, I want to talk about something that happened that I think is really important to discuss. Today, I woke up this morning and I realized that all I had to do today was work on the script for Nosfero. And for the first time guys, I swear to you this is true, for the first time in a year and a half, I did not come in here, sit in this uncomfortable chair, God bless, hunch over my drawing board, and work non-stop on Nosfero. And I was just sitting in this chair on a laptop. I opened the blinds, sunlight in my living room, and I thought I had forgotten what it was like to be a human being for the last year and a half. and it was glorious. Glorious. And it struck me, and something I think we've all been kind of talking about. Yeah, get a more comfortable chair. Good advice. Oh, all these things cost money, as you guys know. And and I have a comfortable chair in the other room, and I plan on getting it. But this whole Nosfero thing, as you guys know, this whole major life change has basically been like getting kicked out of a moving car on a freeway, going 120. And I have been promoting this book, promoting other people's books, doing all of these different things, which is great. I love all that stuff. Keeping the campaign going and doing all of this stuff. And I'll tell you what happened that made me forget. Putting everything I possibly can into making the greatest book possible for you guys. And the thing that kind of reminded me was, I had an interesting experience, an ongoing interesting experience, to where if I had had 5 minutes of rest, I probably would have dealt with it sooner. But be that as it may, put that to one side. Where I realized that there are some people out there who have no concept of how hard the work we're doing is, and what it's like to be an actual supporter, backer, and how important you guys are to us. And that's without getting into any of the weeds there. Because to me, I'm like, many things people can come at me with, but holy, do not come at me with that. But this is the reason why I wanted to share that with you guys today. When you're working on a project like this, and you guys have been here with me, and I thank God for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all this work. You are completely on your own. Period. Full stop. It is a straight up marathon. And there is no break. And I wanted to share this one thing with you guys because I thought it was really funny. And I was joking with it's actually, I don't know how funny it is. But so every day my kids come home from school. And they come home from school and they'll knock on the door. What's up, Phil? It's great to see you, brother. How are you doing? I'll get on, they'll come home, they'll knock on the door. And the joke is they let themselves in and they go, let me guess, you were in the middle of a wash. You were in the middle of washing paint across paper. And that has been our life for the last year and a half. It has been grueling work, a ton of sacrifice, late night streams. I don't know, I think I might have slept for 14 hours yesterday. It may have been more. I do not know. But the relief of having the book and just being able to get to the scripting stage was amazing. Because as much as I want to share the book with you guys, which is great, I've been really wanting to see it myself. And so let me go and see who we've got here in the chat. By the way, got the email from Indiegogo. I need to change my first name. It was misspelled. Oh my gosh. Well, I would recognize that misspelling, but please do change it. Please do update all that information. And yes, Cranberry Langers, it is definitely a marathon. So if you don't have a soda, grab one. I don't care how unhealthy it is. Make it happen. Saying hello, Jerry Burt saying hello. Phil, it's great to see you. Hail all. It's great to see you too, Hostman Socrates. It is great to see you, my friend, and channel member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But here's the crazy thing about it. Here's the great thing about it. Is that, one, and Phil, I know this is going to sound terrible, and I love you, my dear. You know I do. More writing today, and maybe some watercolor. I love the watercolor part. The greatest thing about writing in the world, and is one, that you can, if you have a laptop in this fine modern age, hell, even if you have a phone, you can do it just about anywhere, and you can be just comfortable sitting there enjoying your living room. When it comes to painting, you're in here, right? You're doing it. And I guess it's one of those things to where I never want to think about how comfortable I could be when I'm in the middle of this stuff, because I don't want to think about it because I've got to get this thing. Like, I've got to stay focused. It is a marathon. It's a ton of work. It's a ton of rendering. And so today, this is so ridiculous, the little comforts. When I'm not partying all day, as I obviously do, that's why I'm able to get where I've been able to get to in life, is just sitting back, apparently. But when I do have a chance to kind of sit down, I said to myself, I'm going to open up the blinds in here. I'm going to put on some music. Louis Armstrong, folks. Get it right. and I'm going to have a Sprite. And I thought, I want to have a Sprite with you guys because here's what we're celebrating today. Here's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the fact that this book is in design, this book is in InDesign, that the layout is like that, the script is getting there, and on the 31st, and what is up, Charlie Stevenson? This is going to the great Eric Weathers, who has a campaign live, which I should have updated the dang thing with. Somebody drop a link in the chat to Eric Weathers' Battle Brick Road campaign, please, if you have it. But I am, for all intents and purposes, able to be a human being again for a little bit. And I know that people talk about the stress of fulfillment or the stress of whatever. I can pack boxes and ship stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I can do that anywhere. This has been one of the most incredibly rewarding. I can't tell you guys what this has been, working on this book and all that stuff. But I, true to my word, am going to have some Sprite. And so I just wanted to share it with you guys, man. It is crazy. Oh, Timmy Mello, I thought that was the case. I literally, you laugh. I thought, I'm going to open these blinds and I'm just going to, which might have been great. It might have been just the sweet release of death. But it was definitely a thought. And Michael Bancroft, thank you so much for getting Eric Weathers' amazing Battle Brick Road. This is a second chance with a new cover by Kelsey Shannon. Go check it out. It is on Kickstarter. If you have not checked it out, please do. And Duck Bacon, you always bring a smile to my face. And so I said, I'm going to do a Sprite stream. Or a soda stream. And people say, why Sprite, man? Because I can quit drinking Sprite and Coca-Cola. I can't quit drinking. And I ordered some pizza the other night, and I put down, bring me 4 Sprites, because my daughter likes Sprite. Bring me 4 Sprites. They brought me 4 Cokes. I saw them. I drank one and poured all the other ones out because I'm like, I can't start doing that, man. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Stephen Rockwood, if you get a chance, do feel free to back it. Please do. You are a fine backer, my friend, and I appreciate your presence. John Understood, my friend. Let's see. We got Shipbird Militia channel member in the house. It is great to see you, my friend. And cheers to you, Cranberry Langers. I needed a Sprite. But my wife said to me, she goes, Hun, I'm feeling exhausted. And I said, I'm feeling exhausted. She goes, I'm going to go grab you a burger from this wonderful sandwich place we have right up the road. Another family-owned business. By God, another independent business. And I thought, my God, I have married the perfect woman. That's it. Let's see here. Fritzy Schnitzel says, have you tried Starry? I have not, my friend. I am guessing it's Pepsi's version of Sprite. I'll take all comers, Fritzy Schnitzel. I know Pepsi goes hard on the sugar. And frankly, there's nothing like a little sugar, is there? Stephen Rockwood, hail Duck Bacon. So yeah, so I wanted to get my StreamYard up and going because I want to be able to... do the occasional stream where I have people on. I don't know how organized I'm ready to be. And also, it's nice to be able to, put the super chats and the comments looking like they look up on the screen. Hi, Shanth, and hi, chat. Hi, Neon Todd Studios. It is great to see you. Joseph Dredd, it is great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Sprite and 7-Up taste different. Amen. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, hail to you, Joseph Dredd. I love that Dredd icon. I was talking with a friend of mine about it. But it's interesting because I was thinking today about doing painted comics and putting, the work that we put in. And thank you, channel member Mason W, for being here. I'm going to get back to this comment. But this is the thing. I was thinking about why people don't do painted comics and why it's such a big deal that in this space, this is our first fully painted comic, and why they're so labor intensive, why they take so long. Now, I know most of you guys know that, and I know most people do. But it's one of those things to where I thought even Alex Ross is not cranking out fully painted comics. And it's just, you have to be insane to want to do it in the best possible sense. And I will say this, is that to see this book come together, it's just incredible. We have crowdfunded a fully painted adventure comic book, a pulp comic book. It is 33 fully... Here's the best way I could put it. I did 33 interlocking paintings, which each have several small interlocking paintings on the inside. My God, it's crazy. And it just looks so beautiful. And there's so many... My favorite page that I want to show some of you guys is the last page, so I can't show it to you guys. And by the way, did you see that? That was like the classic movie thing where the guy grabs the drink and never takes a drink. I'll take a drink of Sprite every super chat. We'll do it that way. That way I can talk and use my usual not drinking while I talk. But I'm gonna work on it. See, yeah, Stephen Rockwood, you're right. I don't know why everyone doesn't fully paint their comics. It's so easy. I mean, it's hard to find people who do fully painted traditional paintings, but man, the page I want to show you guys so badly is the last page of the book, and I can't. And so that has been really the frustrating part of it. But as I've been going in and scripting and the writing is so, you have to know what you're writing in order to paint. Yeah, and you created one. Amen, Cranberry Langers. Amen. And you guys need to understand again that it's like it means so much that you guys are here and that you guys, I mean, in terms of backing the book and support and all that stuff. But I was going and I was, excuse me, goodness, but whatever. Here's where we are. We're drinking soda. You knew it was going to happen. And I just have to tell you guys that it really like hit me hard when I was like, look at I think it took me like a day. Like I posted the update. I was like, all right, like here we go. Like I've done it. Eric's doing, the letters. I talked to Eric and I'm like, this is it. And it's the first time I've ever thought or realized that it's going to be handed off to somebody and they're going to hand me back, something. Because there is no penciler, there is no inker, there is no writer, there is no scripter. It's been all me this entire time. And you guys have made that, remotely possible for me to do that. Aaron Anderson, it is great to see you, my friend. Man, I can't wait to get this in hand. So exciting. I cannot wait for you to get it. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with the campaign now. I'm thinking of closing out the lower end perks and just offering the book and raising the price, frankly, because as we get to the tail end of it, and if people want to buy, I want to reward you guys who have been there from the beginning. So don't tell anybody. But my attitude is, holy cow, it's crazy. A super chat from Cranberry Langers, one sip of Sprite. Well, first, let me send you a cheerleader. I hope I uploaded this because this is all new. That doesn't work. I didn't upload the right one. Dang it. Hang on a second. I'm going to take a sip of Sprite. I have not uploaded anything in a bit. Holy Lord. Yeah. Makes sense to raise the price. Oh my Lord. Yeah. I mean, it really does. There's so much work in painting a comic where each panel, as opposed to the standard coloring and inking, and demands premium effort and quality, but man, the reward is worth all the effort. Oh yeah. I mean, guys, looking at this painting, I've never done this many paintings this fast, and that doesn't even take into account that every page has several paintings on it, which is crazy. So let me take a sip of this Sprite. Let me do another one. Thank you so much, Cranberry Langers. God bless you. It feels good going down. My God. And let me see if I can find those cheerleaders, because this is going to annoy me, because, that's what happens when you switch things. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So yeah, you can tell I got sleep because I don't know what's happening anymore. Let me see which one of these it is. That's not the one. Hold on a second here. I'm finding it, people. Watch me and be disappointed and bored. Let me see where it is. Okay, so I'm in here. Let's go to this. I have not been in StreamYard in ages, so do forgive me. Nope. I love how I've got the only thing I brought in, because I was like, I've got to play the previews, was of course Michael's trailer. And that's just how it is. I gotta have that trailer in here. Nope. Good Lord, how long ago did I do that? Guys, this computer, if it dies on me, it's for the best. Nope. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what I named it. You always wonder what you name these things. I hope this is the right one, but let's see, folks. Let me catch up with the chat here. Let us see. Lloyd Burton, my man, congratulations on your milestone project. I know that the anticipation on our part is almost over. You're absolutely right. It is. Let me see. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Indeed. I'm assuming it's not calling my emojis, but let me see if I can get this to happen. Hang on a second. Let me see. Yeah, makes sense to raise the price. You're darn right it does. Let me see here. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you, Tamier. Much love. Much love. Smash that like button. Thank you, Hostman Socrates, you channel member and Rockstar. Yeah, creepy foot fetishists. I agree. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. God bless you, too. Hope you're successful with this, your new career, and that it opens more doors. Who are we talking? Let me see where we are. Where it's new job? Where is it? There's so much work that goes into it. Effort and quality of the words there. I feel like we're wishing somebody a new job. Other than Alex Ross and you, has anyone painted a comic before? Yeah, there have been some great ones. But not many, I will say. There have not been that many. I mean, there's John J. Muth, there's a couple of people. But let me see if this works, guys. Let's all pray that this works. Charge! That is for you, my friend. I'm sorry, Cranberry Langers, for the late super chat. It happens. It happens. But we're gonna get this whole thing up and running, guys. So you got your sip of Sprite. I will take a sip of Sprite every time somebody says a super chat because I don't drink. But yeah, I mean, that was the thing too about it, right? As I was working on, that's right, Hail Arthurline. It's good to see you, man. It's Jeremy Burt's always keeping it real in the house, channel member. So I was sitting there and I've got the book in InDesign. I'm laying it out, and what's so great about it is that, you know, once you've got all your pages in InDesign, and once you're doing all your lettering, you can update the InDesign file with everything. But the biggest aspect of it is and I love this part, but you can flip through the book, and that part is the best. So I've crowdfunded before I was in CG, before I was in doing Comicsgate stuff or whatever. It's you know, and back when, you know, CG was like CG and the Fandom Menace and all this other stuff was going on. I mean, it's a lot of time. I crowdfunded 2 books on Indiegogo. You guys know that. Most of you guys know that. And my favorite part was always the layout phase. And my next favorite part, of course, is getting the proof and sharing that with you guys. Although I've got to be careful doing it now because there's a story as opposed to artwork you've seen every piece of. So it's crazy. I never have cheerleaders cheer me in my real life, so cheers early or late. Appreciate it. I'm the same way. And hey, Joseph, Dread, John, hello, Phil, or again, laugh out loud. Absolutely right. And so, yeah, seeing it come together, always. Seeing it come together is always been a great thing, and seeing how, you know, the pages come together. And I want to show you the InDesign file so bad. I'm fighting that urge. I'm just gonna like open it up and then scroll, and you can see everything, man. You can see everything. And let's see what else here. So what else is going on? Not much else. Just a lot of hard work. Just a lot of hard work coming to an end. And I felt, the thing about it too is that, you know, I've got the Double Impact stream tonight. I'm going to try to have my energy and get all fired up for Gran Torino. But and let me tell you something this right now, John. You guys have been following me forever. You guys have been seeing this forever. And I think I've just started to cave a little bit. You guys are absolutely right. Nosfero is criminally underfunded. It should be a 6-figure campaign. It's freaking beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, throw your full support behind it. Tell other people to throw their full support behind it because it is a thing of beauty. And I work my butt off to make great stuff. So, yeah, I'll agree with you on that now. Yeah. I'm the kind of person where I'm not going to say that kind of thing because I'm, you know, but now that I've got the work in front of me and I had this sort of day of reflection that was about how a couple of things have come to my mind in terms of, you know, my career that very few of you have probably had experience. Occasionally I'll have a former student come in here. But I started thinking about, you know, my 18-year career as a faculty member, as a professor, all of the work I did, all of the things that sort of have gone into that. And one of the reasons why I left that, there were a couple of reasons. One of them is I never wanted to be in a, quote, community, and I still don't. And that is why since the very beginning, that word has been a dirty word for us. And I never wanted to be in a union. and I never wanted to have anybody else telling me what I should do, right? Like, I think you need to do this. Some of us are noticing you're not doing this. Or, well, as a member of this community, no. I agree with Nick Rekieta on that stuff 100%. Look up his Nick Rekieta, I Was Right, and watch it sometime. Oh my gosh. Teflon Ron, to the Sprite Sipper and joining the few painted comics club artists in the world. Thank you, Teflon Ron, for that $5 super chat. I will have a sip of Sprite, but first, let me play you a video. Charge! Here's to you, buddy. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. So I haven't had a moment to really reflect because again, when you have a family, you roll right into this, and it is tremendous. Marriage is a union, Shanth. Yes, absolutely, it is, but between two people. And you know what they say? When you have two people, you have a relationship. When you have three or more, you have politics. So yeah, the political kind of union, I think, is the best way of putting it. And the thing about that is so funny is that, and what I was just thinking about, I escaped in teaching and I will never do in my own life is, as somebody who is creating artwork in this space, I am one of many independents who are doing great work. And I do not expect anybody to do things how I think they should do them. And I won't do anything the way that some other person thinks I should do it, because that's what it means to actually be free and actually have liberty. That is the important aspect of these things. And I think sometimes that's a struggle for people. But what my interest is, and one of the things that was the real liberation of coming into the space is, there are no meetings. There are no meetings. And there isn't any, what's the word I'm looking for? Or, I'm sorry, there are no meetings I'm aware of, I'm assuming. I don't want to speak for everybody. People can have meetings if they want to have meetings. But there are no, we noticed that you weren't at the meeting the other day, or it's taking you a while to get your syllabus in, that kind of crap. And that's the kind of stuff that's antithetical to being independent in the work we do. And that is what it is. Tammy A, got my bouillon-based coffee mug ready for tonight. Amen. I will be the same. Yep. Oh, which beautifully put, Charlie Stevenson. And let me add this. The name of my first art book, as you know, was while I was teaching. And while I was, and it was called Autonomous Treks. And at that point, I think I wrote Ethan an email about this, but I was so inspired by what Ethan was doing. And I was so disgusted by what was happening to him. And I realized, I looked around my work and I went, that's the kind of thing that can happen here. And that's the kind of thing that I don't want to ever be a part of. Because this is the crazy thing about this stuff, and this is what Nick Rekieta said. I almost want to EFAP it and share it because I think it's kind of amazing. Is that, and I think I've been pretty clear about this in the last 48 hours, but when it comes to people, don't pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. When it comes to people, don't pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. And the thing I was thinking about with this stuff in general is, my attitude about everything is, I get to know you guys as individuals. I have individual backers. Period. Individual backers. I do not, if somebody comes up to me and they're like, I mean, it's the craziest thing, but if someone comes up to me and goes, hey, I'm one of you, I'm like, whoa, what do you think I am? Like, what's this about? I'm always super suspicious because one of the things I predicted at the college I used to work at that came true is that whenever you take something and you build it and you turn it into a success, you will attract middle management minded, incompetent bureaucrats to come in and put low investment and try to screw up your game. It happens everywhere. And I will tell you this, it is the one thing that it's easy to miss when you're too tired because you're working hard. And people who schedule faculty meetings have all the time in the world because they usually can't teach for shit. And so I bring that stuff up because it's something that I've been on this space for a while, and I watch a lot of different YouTube channels. And the craziest thing about it is that when I posted that video, not long ago, that was a big inspiration for me coming into the space, which was How to Gain Wealth or Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. I can't remember exactly what it's called. What is up, my brother from another mother? Speaking of someone, I was just thinking about you today, man. And I was thinking about your channel, funny enough, today, and how excited I am for it. But it was one of those things, man, where there's a, how do I put this? I watched people come into the art space who could not make art, but wanted to tell other people who could make art how to make art. And that was something that I don't understand that. Like, if you don't know anything about it, it's kind of weird. Like, I trust people to do the work that they do. But it was, at a certain point, the thing that's funny in any group, and I've predicted this for a long time. I said to my fellow faculty, to my colleagues, I said, right now, we're a little scrappy art school. We're working hard. We're putting stuff together. Oh my God, my children shut the door like they're trying to kill somebody and decapitate somebody. But I said, we're doing great right now, but the second we get this college in good position, hipster posers are going to come in and they're going to wreck it. And this is where I agree with Eric July on the whole gatekeeping thing that caused a bit of a stir, which is, I want anybody who is supportive of what I'm doing. I don't want to use the we word because that's another slippery slope, and I've been getting sloppy lately. I was not the one, but I heard it was great. By the way, the intro for Jimmy Reyes, I heard it was fantastic. I forget the name of the person who did it, but if you guys know, put it in the chat. Yeah. But here's the biggest thing: the biggest problem in the world, is that word we. It's the biggest problem in the world. And you start hearing people say, well, one of the things I think it's normal, well, actually it's not normal. I mean, it's common, let's say, but it's a thing we all fall into. I think one of the things we all need to do, don't you think we need to do? And it's like going, well, I mean, I get how I put this. There's relationships and then there are communities, which starts with a very particular word. And, I'm not a big fan of that, and I will tell you this: my attitude about working on this book is, and on anything, is that I'm here. I am Shanth Enjeti art. That is what I am, right? And that is what I am first and foremost, and that is what I like about being. Funny enough, that is what I like being about being in CG. You know, that's what I enjoy about it. And it's crazy because I spend almost no time. I back books all the time. I back books when I like to back them. But I spend no time thinking about, I don't know what, managing other creators. It's not my thing. I think it's insane, actually. And at the same time, I recognize that this is sort of like a trust fall. You know, I think that's the best way that Ethan put it early on when he launched Cyberfrog. It's like, I hope these folks catch me. Because it is a ton of work. It is crazy amounts of work. And if you've got people coming in and who use a lot of time attacking people and putting people down, like I had an issue with on my campaign, the thing about it that is really interesting to me about it is I go, this is, how do I word it? This is exactly the thing that to me is at its core, which is, when you go into a space, when people went into a space, when they came into comics and when they came into academia, the first thing our now, I believe, former president of the college, he was there for a couple of years and drove a lot of talent out, did, was he came in and he said, like, first meeting, obviously we have a issue here on campus with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I was like, oh my. One, we didn't till you got there. And two, this is what this person is. They come in and they diagnose a problem before they've even been in here. And as you guys know who've been in the space for a very, very long time, you know, oh yeah, Shanth, welcome to the community. That's your cul-de-sac right there. Make sure you mow your lawn. That is exactly what it is, man. That is exactly what it is. And it's not that this stuff doesn't happen everywhere. It isn't, but I've watched it happen with LawTube. I watched it happen. Certainly, it happens in cycles in every group. I mean, I'm sure it'll happen in you know, whatever the Fandom Menace is, several cycles. We've seen it with some interesting characters that have come through there. Some who have been very random, if you know what I mean. And we've seen it happen, you know, in CG. We've seen it since the beginning. And the thing I always say to people is that it's build, work, build, and make what you do as good as it can and connect with your audience. You know? You're absolutely right. I just got a Private American with a Steve Rude cover. Well, I have to be honest with you. I don't believe in just supporting campaigns just to support campaigns, Stephen Rockwood. So I did not back Private American with a Steve Rude cover. I backed it with the Dan Lawless cover. And I also just got it, my friend. Because to me, that ultimately, and I did do the Mike Barron intro, but to me, that's ultimately what it's about. My God, I would do that in a heartbeat, period. I'd absolutely do that in a heartbeat. I have so much respect for what that guy said about, quote, LawTube. And I guess this is the biggest thing I was thinking about the other day, which is crazy, is that if somebody, like, part of the reason why I came into this space, and one of the things that I've always had, and I've had this as an individual, I don't need to be in a group in order to do this, but this is a really big part of it, is I don't like middle management busybody bullies. Petty, relentlessly petty bullies who slowly erode and attack people who actually contribute and work hard, like myself. And I know them when I see them, and I can't unsee it. And when I was watching what was happening to Ethan, when I first saw his streams, it was all because of the Fandom Menace. That's really what it was. I was like absolutely incensed about what happened in Star Wars. And when I saw what happened to him, I don't like bullies at all. So let's think about this for a second, right? I start doing things for Ethan and everything like this. I have got a full-time associate professor job at a visual arts college. And at the time when I started doing stuff for Ethan, right, this is the opposite of what would be good for me to be around, right? It would actually probably be advantageous if I was a petty middle management bureaucrat trying to use things to get ahead, to say, oh, this is the kind of thing I don't like. Oh, I'm against it. And that's how you can tell when people walk the walk, which is, I don't like bullying and I don't like racism in terms of, regardless of who it is. If it's someone telling me to be racist against white people, I don't like it just as much as I don't like racism against anybody else. That's what it comes down to. Do you get what I mean? And when I watched that happen, and when I watched what was starting to happen, or I should say what was being codified on college campuses, I was like, this is disgusting. Yep, I can't stand them either. You're absolutely right. Yep, I have dark skin tone. It does. We're all welcome here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he did a retrospective on the LawTube fallout last night. Are you serious? I was just watching his most recent or his stream he did called I Was Right, where he talked about all of the bullshit fallout between people, and he said, I am an individual. My brand is my brand. My family's livelihood depends on it, and that is what I'm building. I'm building Shanth Enjeti art. And the thing I don't like about people, period, is in terms of when I see somebody like coming in, is when somebody with no skin in the game attacks me, my work, and frankly, my family's livelihood because they're bored. I don't care what they claim to be. In the end, what they turn out to be is somebody who's cost me a few bucks and a lot of grief when I'm working my ass off. That's what I call a toxic poser coming into this space and saying, hey, I'm one of you. No thanks. Get out. Period. I don't want anything to do with that. Because I can't spend... these would be very boring streams if I sat around talking about how hard I'm working, because people who work this hard, they don't think about, crap, I haven't sat in a comfortable chair in the morning in a year and a half. They don't think like that. It's crazy. Crazy. The SJW's got a taste of power and turned social media into a cyber Mad Max. Yep, and they are, if they're already here, it's, again, guys, bear this in mind. SJW, I don't like the SJW term these days, and I'm not saying because I don't like using it. I'm saying it because let's just call it what it is. neo-Marxist people. People who come in and want to play power games with people while contributing nothing by defamation, manipulation, and trying to start crap between people. And when you see them fishing, get them away from you. Get them the hell away from you. And that's what I plan to do. And I have time now. I have time for that crap now, because that's the one advantage they have. They can spew a ton of crap about somebody who is working hard and actually doing their job before the person who's working hard doing their job has time to deal with it, because they've got so many things going on. And I guess that's the thing I wanted to say today. One, I will drink Sprite for Super Chats. But two, and more importantly, I love my family so much, and not being at this desk and just being on a laptop and being able to walk up to them and say, do you want to go for a walk, hon? Oh, kids, can I give you a hug? Is awesome. And that is what you have to, by and large, sacrifice, because you're like, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. And when somebody questions my work ethic, integrity, or whether or not I'm going to deliver, I'm like going, wow, did you just get here? Probably yes. And what the hell are you trying to pull here? Bullshit. And I won't stand for it. Let's see here. I just got here. What happened with LawTube? Oh, nothing big. Has the nose made new enemies? I'm sure constantly. But you know what? He's doing great. Shitbird Militia. Right on, brother. Yeah, DUI on talking about all the BS. That was... And by the way, couldn't you spot her? I remember all that stuff. I remember seeing her and going, she's a middle management bureaucrat. You can just spot him. And the other little toad that she had with her. So watch for these people. Because they're usually... they have this little taste of charisma. But when they get in your orbit and they get a little bigger taste of it, a little like they're like the moon, they get a little sunlight on them, they think they're awesome. And I've watched that happen again and again, and Ethan's talked about it with folks who've come and gone in Comicsgate, where it's kind of like, oh man, I'm awesome. And they mistake the fact that a lot of the stuff that they've got happening is because of the fact that they're around Ethan, which is great, which is fantastic. He's a very helpful guy. But I think it's like he supports so many different people. But it's not his job and it's not his responsibility. Because it's a blessing if you get a huge push from Ethan. It's a wonderful thing. But it's not anything anyone's entitled to. And when people start thinking in those terms, right? And they start thinking about, oh, this pie is fixed. This is how much we have. And now I need to scrape at other people in order to get my share. That's when shit goes south. And this stuff has been, I've watched this happen in academia. There's an old joke about academia that I got to share with you guys. In academia, the fighting is so fierce because the stakes are so low. It's the funniest joke, but it is absolutely true. And I always think that Shanth Enjeti art is me. I mean, any help I can get, any promotional help I can get, fantastic. And I think I'm definitely a worthy person to support and to help. But I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. It amazes me. It amazes me how... so what I'm looking for. How, knowing how hard I work and knowing how hard this is to build and everything like that, you will find people who are just crabs in a bucket, man. Crabs in a bucket. And it blows my mind. Yep. The control left, as we like to say. Yep. Let's see here. All they see is a way to take their problems and put them on us. I would say this. They see resources and attention that they don't deserve, and they want it for themselves. It takes nothing to get into Marvel Comics or DC Comics if you are back in the day anyway, if you were a reasonably attractive sociopath, and then make all the comics about you. When did editors get to be the big names in comic book companies? When people with no writing or drawing ability came in, and then they started hiring themselves. It is insane. Yeah. I found comics because of Ricada Law's channel, and that's funny. He was talking about the arc of it in this other short video, and it's 100% true. I found Comicsgate because of Ethan, because of Fandom Menace. That's how I got here. And that's why, of the many things I have around here, I just killed Batman 1989. Respect. But I just put over here on my desk next to me my Cyberfrog PVC figure. Now, I backed Ethan's book. I gotta be honest with you guys. With all my Comicsgate books, when I get a Comicsgate book in the mail, I don't know what it is. It's kind of the fun for me. I didn't know this was going to be Private American, okay? I truly didn't know. With the Dan Lawless cover, Grosse Pointe Dank, man. I got to support my man. I didn't know because I like him personally. But when I got this in the mail, and I think I've got 3 of these. Sorry if anybody's still waiting on theirs, by the way. But I back campaigns because I love what we're doing here. And because I know it's hard for us to be, it's certainly hard for me to be. I want to say we too much. I support it because I like Ethan. He's made me laugh. He's done some great stuff. And he's a hell of an artist. I love the way he inks. I love the way he crosshatches. It's just a simple, you back stuff for different reasons, right? But it's everybody's job to do it. But I said, this to me is, and obviously I know he owns the trademark, so it's even more fitting. But beyond that, this to me is one of those symbols of Comicsgate and what's possible. And the success that I want and the things that I'm doing with Nosfero I'm not in here to be broke, for God's sake. The thing I'm doing with Nosfero and I have more energy for right now, is to have independence, and with this YouTube channel for that matter, to have independence, to work my ass off, and to get for myself what I earn with my work. And I hope I find like-minded people who are motivated, and we see this mutual thing, but those are relationships. That's not because, you bought a ticket, so you can do whatever you want. No, that's not what it is. I want it to be earned. And that's why I work so hard earning it every day. So what it is. I understand the usefulness of buzzwords, but that shit gets old real quick. Yep. The SJWs is riddled with cluster B personality disorders. And remember, cluster B personality disorders are everywhere. Everywhere. Never forget. I know a person like that. Shanth, you're absolutely right. They know what your sacrifice is, Shanth. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I almost fell for her nonsense. Yep. Was so happy for Nick when Rittenhouse blew up his channel. I was too. Who was Shanth talking about? I actually don't remember anymore. They have a little charisma, but no uniqueness. I think if we're talking about it, it was this person who Ricada helped, if we're talking about who I think we're talking about. Let's see here. What makes progressives dangerous is that people who believe in centralized powers are joiners. Yes. And people who believe in individual liberty are not joiners. Therefore, the left has the advantage. I would say this. There are joiners everywhere, right? There are joiners everywhere. One of the things I was laughing about is, because nobody up here in the Northeast knows this, and it's kind of funny, is I asked somebody up here, I go, do you know the term GCB? And they didn't know the term. Every group has busybodies. Every group has those people. Kissinger said that. There you go. Yep. Well, it's been happening in CG for years. Yeah, we've all seen it. If you've been in CG, I think I backed books since the first Cyberfrog campaign. I regrettably, Coach. Regrettably, John. I did not back Jawbreakers when it first came out because I hadn't even really heard about it. I didn't know what it was. But I've done some trailers for John, so I feel better. And thank you, John, for the opportunity on those pinups. But it's one of those things to where, I came in, and I've seen so many cycles of people come through. And it's crazy because while that's been kind of a creator thing, one of the things that's changed is as the tide is turning, I think you're seeing a lot more people who want that centralized thing brought here. And to me, it's easy. You just say, nope. And that's what I appreciate about Ricada. Ricada was like, nope. Yes, that's who it was. Yep. You got it, Bites. Yep. Let's see here. Antoine Dennison, welcome. Joseph Dredd, thanks. Y'all see the joke in my previous comment? Absolutely. Looking real thin, Shanth. Yeah. God bless you, Random McRanderson. The only thing thinning about me is my hair. I hope that's what you're referring to, but there is nothing thin below here. And I think thinning hair is something that, again, I don't mean to be a joiner. We're all going to get there eventually. Jeremy Ice and Fire, crabs in a bucket are all over the place. I hate to say it, but even here in CG, unfortunately, well, of course, but here's the crazy thing about it. If people are looking for a utopia of wheeze, check out Ayn Rand's Anthem, then you will not find it. It will be a hellscape. But I like to get to know people individually. And my attitude is, if somebody actually wants to know who the hell I am, feel free to say hello. But I'm not really cool with random stranger psychopaths coming into my life, and I'm never going to be cool with that. And that happened again at the college I was teaching at. I saw plenty of that. I saw an enabling of that in the name of doing, quote, the right thing, right? And it always is going to come with the, well, we've got to protect every. It's like, oh God, make it stop. But yeah, absolutely right. And it's funny, Jeremy, you know this. I'm going to put you on blast here. Sorry, Lord Crackhead. You'll always be Lord Crackhead. Jeremy Ice and Fire 33. In my heart, Jeremy, but as you know. Oh God, I just realized this. So here's a couple of Comicsgate / let's just say, CG independent people, right, thing, because I don't want to, again, I don't want to drag we into it. But here's a couple of things that you'll notice here. So I did that logo for my brother Jeremy because he's a friend of mine, because he's a great dude. He's been so enthusiastic and so fun, and it's nice to have friends. It's that simple. And when his channel blew up because of all of the Game of Thrones stuff, Jeremy, I'm sorry, I'm a neophyte when it comes to Game of Thrones. But when it blew up with all of that stuff, I was like, this is so great. My friend is seeing success. And I remember texting him about it, and it's so funny. And Jeremy, I know how you meant it. It's sweet. But Jeremy would be always like, man, we got to have you on the show sometime, man. And I always felt bad, like, because I called him to say, hey, you're doing a great job. It was like, it might have a veiled ask in it. But it's just the way it is, yeah. It's like, if you can't be excited for people, and it is, to me, it is not, how do I put it? It might be hard to be excited for people. It might be easier to not be excited for people, but it takes work to be a sniveling, backbiting person trying to wreck somebody's reputation. That takes sociopathic work. And it should set off alarm bells whenever you see it, because it's freaking crazy. Yes, Timmy Mello says, humility is a virtue, and thank you for being a channel member, my brother. Not a weakness. Always, always, always give credit to your peers and superiors, and don't try to outshine them. Too bad people feel the need to compete and try to one-up one another. It's insane. But here's the thing about it, too. You can run a race trying to do, and you're absolutely right, but you can try to run a race to run as fast as you can and come in second place and not trying to beat the person who's in third place. Do you get what I mean? That is not required for excellence. And Nosfero, I am happy to say, has not required me in the entire process of it to step on another soul or to contact somebody and say, hey, you're doing this for somebody, you're not doing this for me. I welcome people who want to help me be more successful, who want to say to me, hey, Shanth, I like what you're doing. Let me give you a hand. Let me help you. You work hard, you're a good person, blah, blah. Fantastic. But I don't want that. I don't ever want anybody to feel like I think they owe me that or any of that stuff. And that is why, yes, I want Nosfero to do really well, want to grow, want to be great. Yeah, let's say it's criminally underfunded. But here's the biggest thing. Every bit of that funding we have done together. And I'm proud of that. Because, again, I left my job because I want to be able to look myself in the mirror every morning and not feel like, wow, I might be contributing to people teaching racism. I might be contributing to people teaching Marxism. Didn't want to do it. And I can look myself in my face in the mirror, God help it, every morning, and I'm great with it. And that's how I conduct myself. I can be reasonably attractive halfway there. You're right, Cranberry Langers. Let's do it. That a medical joke. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Cheers, Jeremy. Indeed. The pie is not finite. That's right. And that's the thing. A Marxist, whether they claim to be based or woke, you'll know them by their works. And that's the thing about it, right? Is that you kind of look at this stuff and you sort of say, Eric July has it right, man. Like, what is Eric July a part of? What is RAZÖRFIST a part of? Now, those guys are exceptional talents, right? But that's kind of the goal. Let me talk about some stuff that's even outside of that. Two of my favorite channels to watch, I'll talk about my current channel I'm addicted to, is a channel called The Grim Life Collective. And they're huge. They're blowing up. They're everywhere. And I love their channel. They do horror stuff. They went to the actual house from the first Scream movie and met the owners and walked around and showed the whole house. It was awesome. Love those people. And it's like, who are they associated with? Yes, they do talk about we're in the horror community. We all do that, blah, blah. And, there's the Disney vlogger community where people get canceled. There's the knitting community where people get... It's like these people can come into anywhere, but if you build your own thing and you connect with your fan base, when people come after you, your real fans will be there and say, excuse me. When it comes time to people going, have you noticed how hard this dude works and how amazing this stuff is? Blah, blah. That's when your fans are there. But they're not the people going, like they're not throwing shade. And watching my colleagues back in the day be totally comfortable with people throwing shade at me for nothing, just being jerks. And watching, what's a really good example? All your classes fill. Everybody shows up to your classes. You help to fill, a college or whatever. And people will go, we noticed that you missed that committee meeting. Stupid crap like that. It's absolute bullshit. And don't ever fall for it. Don't ever fall for it. I found EVS before his channel was a Comicsgate channel. He had the best comic artist channel. Yeah, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I remember the video where he was going... I went back and rewatched, where he was going and looking at nibs, and he was doing brutally honest portfolio reviews. By the way, with love, EVS. With love. I taught art for 18 years. That is nowhere close to brutal. Those were some of the nicest critiques I've ever seen, and even my critiques, by comparison to the 80s and 70s art teachers, holy cow, were insane. I've had Brian Stelfree's critiques back when I was visiting and interning at Gaijin Studios that were just like, the opening line was, "Are you learning any art at art school?" That's one for the books right there. Shanth Enjeti art. We should all mess with Ethan by saying thank you. How great he's doing. Let's see his reaction. I've actually sent him a bunch of... He knows this. Like, whenever I see him having a downtime, I kind of disappear when people... Not in a bad way, but I kind of recede into the background. This is a weird way to go about your life. When people are doing well, because I'm like, okay, this person's good. And I'm getting out of it. I'm learning to take care of myself a little bit better. But I tend to want to help people, which is not always advantageous, because sometimes you help people and they're bitter, resentful a-holes no matter what you do. However, but Ethan... has always been super positive, super enthusiastic. I think I just messaged him about something recently, but I can't remember because I'm not sleeping and everything's a blur for the last couple of weeks. But I mean, yeah, I always try to write, and it's funny, I feel bad for Ethan because so many people, particularly at various times, want a piece of him, and oh my gosh, yeah. So this is a non sequitur, and I will catch up with the chat, I promise, but I have to tell this story over and over and over again. And welcome, channel member Mighty Geek Studios. Much love. It's great to see you, my friend. And Julie Pascal, you got to email me. I sent an email to your box check about what you want for a head sketch, speaking of the Nosfero campaign. So I am going to be starting those head sketches very, very soon. So here's the thing. My artwork, and you can't find it, it was, because it was way back. I think it was like November 3rd, 2019, because I'm not anywhere near the spectrum. But Ethan, I'd sent him a letter, and I was still working at the college. I'd sent him a letter after he had a really sad stream. It was coming. I mean, maybe he was a really sad stream. He was like really sad, and it was just about the whole racism thing. And I felt incensed because I know Ethan's not racist. I thought it was total bullshit. And so I wrote him this that he even joked about on a stream with Cecil one time. I said, you are not a racist, and I told him my experiences, which were varying levels of rough with that shit when I was coming up, from all sides. Let me tell you, being whatever. Whatever. I'm so sick of that shit. I can't even talk. Somebody called the wambulance. Anyway, but I wrote him, and I want to show him a picture of my family, which is many different shades of whatever. I said, you're not racist, and of all the crazy things, the next day, he did a stream featuring my Instagram, which at that point I'm sure I had I still have about 30,000 Instagram followers. All my hard work, all of my artwork. Thank you very much. That's how I funded those first 2 art books. Again, before I was in CG and had the benefit of this, I did that stuff because I was like, I don't want anybody ever tell me that, it's all because of this. I wanted to know it was because of me. And Ethan did a spotlight on my artwork. He was scrolling on the channel. He's like, this guy's great. Come to Comicsgate. It's great. Well, we can help you. You can take care of, your family. And this was really sweet because it was really, really great. And I was so excited about it. It was a cool thing. And Ethan's been great to me, by the way, just as a rule. Like he's been, well, put it this way. How do I word this? Ethan has, because I don't like how people putting anything on anybody. He's been fantastic. He's always been nice. He had me do this great Cyberfrog trading card. If you haven't got it, someone put it up on eBay and let's run the price up on it, because I think it's one of the best things I've done. And it was a great job, but I wanted to do videos for him and sort of help him out. But he was so effusive about my work. He was so kind. It was amazing. And The next day, the stream, he took the stream down for probably a myriad of reasons. Maybe he didn't want me to get killed. But the next day, there was a dude on there who was in CG at the time. And he said, we can't have these, a blind item, never know who it was, but we can't have these 40-somethings coming into CG and jumping the line. And jumping the line. And I was like, what? Like, it was so crazy because what Ethan was doing was such an honest, like, from the heart thing. What I was doing was from a heart thing. And that's when I realized, like, oh, there's going to be people like that everywhere. And that was like years ago. Has that person fulfilled their book? No. That's the thing that blows my mind about this stuff. And I always say this, is that that stuff is going to be everywhere, and don't get sucked into it. Have normal relationships with people. Talk to people, do things because you're support them and you want to do it. And if somebody is not being supportive, if somebody is being whatever, don't fool with it. Don't deal with it. Shanth Enjeti art is my responsibility. Recaita law is Nick Recaita's responsibility. That's how this stuff works. Oh, cool. You found Ethan because of Comicsgate. It's wild because Ethan was a Star Wars guy, like a great big Star Wars fan. Like, I mean, my favorite stream is Into the Pie Barons. It's just, I love that stream. I can watch it all the time. I got Private American last week and King Cryptid. I feel bad for people because I got 3 of my Cyberprog PVCs back, the action figures. I'm so excited about it, man. So cool. Hail Julie Pascal again. It's great to see you, you rock star. Hail Julie. Yes, indeed. The Green Laser, respect. I found Ethan because of Nerdrotic. Ironic, isn't it? But here's the thing about all of that stuff, right? Everybody gets here how we get here. Like, that's it. I'm just glad I found not a community, but man, how many hours of talking Star Wars nonsense. There's another YouTuber I love, The Choice Voice, who does Star Trek fan films. I did a poster for him. We've been friends, and I sent him recently a Peter Cushing Mego figure, because Peter Cushing's Van Helsing was one of his favorite characters in fiction. You can meet so many cool people. So many cool people. And the people who come along, like a certain law tuber we were talking about, you can find them easy if you're looking for it. The problem becomes when there's this parasitic nature to it. And yeah, like standing by and letting people get thrown under the bus like she did with Recaita was bullshit. And I loved when, I think Anna did a stream, who's another nice person. I've maybe had a few messages with Anna. I've been on her channel a couple times painting, which was really nice. And she seems like a really nice person, amazing painter. And she was talking about, she did a great stream about Recaita saying these bitches ain't loyal. And I think it's great. Yeah, and we all have lives outside of this too. I know you guys know that, and you guys, get to know us quite a bit. But it's, we don't bring you guys to parent-teacher conference. Do you know what I mean? Because, God, you wouldn't want to be there. I've got doubles of the Cyberfrog stuff. Me too. I totally do it. Hit me up if you want a copy or toys. Yeah, I've got 2 copies, one to bag and board, one to read, of the first issue of Cyberfrog. I'm that way with a lot of things. But I just, I'm so glad I discovered Ethan's artwork, which I know that sounds insane, but I was just moving. I was never a DC guy. And then I got into a lot of older stuff I missed, like Richard Corbin. I like Dave Stevens and all those guys. Mike Kaluta, Bernie Wrightson. Like, I wasn't reading mainstream comics. So I got into him and became a legit fan of his stuff because of the first Cyberfrog book. And seeing the artwork, I was like, holy cow, how did I not know about this guy? He draws so well. Indeed, John, viva la liberté. Never forget it, guys. Never forget it. I found Ethan's channel because of that Star Wars. That's the great thing about it, right? That's the great thing about it. And, when you love Star Wars and you really love this kind of stuff, like when I was a kid, we had a TV, and I think we might have had it first. We got our first VCR. I don't even know how old I was, but we got a VCR late. We had a copy of Return of the Jedi. And so I had watched that over and over again. And I had that movie memorized. It's like Command Stations, SD-321 was starting approach to activate the security shield. Like all of that stuff. I could play that movie in my head. Yeah. Shout out to Anna. Like I showed my kids, and I know she knows this, so I don't hope she won't mind. But, and it's tragic considering what happened immediately after that. But the end of Mandalorian Season 2 reaction with Cecil was tragic when you see Cecil has a heart. Like, when he's trying to make jokes and all, he's like, makes the sad face. Oh, shout out to Cecil. He's brought a lot of joy and laughter to me over the years, man. That guy is so funny. It kills me, man. Yeah, oh my gosh, Green Laser. Hello, John. I found Cyberfrog going through the 50-cent boxes at my local comic shop. And you know Mighty Geek Studios, but it's worth a lot more now. Fritzy Schnitzel, there are two types of people. People that want to be left alone and people incapable of leaving others alone. Well, you know, I heard another quote I love, 40% Zed, which is there's two kinds of people in this world. People who believe there are two kinds of people and people who don't. I'm not sure which one I fall into some days. We are all joiners at some points, but you want to minimize it as much as possible. Well, this is the crazy thing. I like being in a group of people that I have relationships with, and not every relationship has to be blood brothers. You can have people you hang out with. I think what we're talking about in general, I need to have like a wee jar. That sounds terrible. Let's forget that. But I need to have a jar I put money in every time I use the expression we. It's got to stop. Like, literally, Ayn Rand's anthem is the one, you know, one short story attack on that. But that's the thing for me, right? I think that I like to find people and have different relationships at different levels with people. Not everybody has to be a blood brother, but I don't want to have people around me who are there to manipulate me and my friends against each other or cause strife. It's that simple. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. If you're one of those people, you know no religion, you know no race, you have a mentality, and it's be gone. That's it. 40% Zed, yes, but what I meant is people who want low taxes don't generally go to work for the IRS. Boy, you guys got in some complicated stuff there. My brain hurt. Right after I read George Orwell's 1984, I read Ayn Rand. So here's a couple of things. So I started working on my introduction today for my book. And here are some actual facts about me that 3 facts about me that I found really fascinating, and I've never put all 3 of them together at the same time. Fact number 1. I was born in the year 1976, which is the bicentennial of the United States of America, and that is utterly connected to who I am. Number 2, I was born on September 2nd, which is considered Atlas Shrugged Day, because it's the date that they point out the date in the opening of Atlas Shrugged. So I have that connection to Ayn Rand. I'm born on Atlas Shrugged Day. And last but not least, in terms of what my favorite subject matter is, I was baptized on September 2nd. I'm sorry, not September 2nd. I was not baptized on September 2nd. I was baptized on October 31st, 1976. I was baptized on Halloween. So there you go. Psychos not welcome. Amen. Absolutely love it, Shanth. Amen, amen. Yeah, no worries, brother. I'm glad you like it, man. I'm so far behind. It really does take so much more energy to be a prick. It really does. Oh, God, I gotta get it. Bad Crow Comics, it is great to see you. A live stream, finally. I know, guys. Oh, it's been crazy. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's been pretty wild, John. Sorry, I'm late. No worries. Tammy A, channel member Rockstar. I can't stand one-uppers. Yup. Thinning hair shows that you have a very active mind. Yes, from your lips to God's ears. That's what it means. Yes. Tammy A, me either, but I'm better than you because I know. Let's see here. Speak truth. Yep. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, it's great to see you. Hello. Modern society seems set up to promote and reward narcissism and self-indulgence. People get rewarded for destroying others for likes and clout. Well, and this is the other thing about it, right? What do you really get? Hey everyone, what's going on? Joe Mello, I bow to you, you rock star. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Double Impact. We're going to be talking about Gran Torino tonight. And boy, I will tell you what, speaking of friendships and relationships, it's always fun, unless they're in Australia, by the way. So shout out to my Australians. It's always fun to have friends who you can just text random thing, like not totally random things, but it's like, hey, guess what? This thing's going on in the kids' lives. How are you doing? That's what it comes down to. When it comes to business, and I know we've said this a lot in this space, don't mess with somebody's business. If you want to interact with somebody's business, don't tell them, this is how I think you should be doing your business. Busybody, middle management. Can I help you? Is there something I can do for you? Can I blah, blah? That's it. And guys, that's what I've always done for people. That's just how I am. If I can't, don't take it personally. I may have a lot of things going on. And the number one priority I have are my whys. The three folks that are in my family. That's the way it is, man. Sup, Joe? Shanth said horror people, not hoa people, even though I am from the Northeast. Hey, Tammy. Hey, how goes it? Yes. Oh, hey, Tammy. Hey, God, I can't read. How goes it? I've been staring at type all day, right? Filling in the balloons there. Fritz Schnitzel, it's because there is a phenomenon where bureaucracy starts out serving a purpose, but then it grows only to serve. Yeah, I mean, again, one of the great, analysis of all time right there. But over time, right? It's like, it's great to have something to rally around, a flag to rally around when people are attacking you. But at a certain point, you start getting people in there where it's like when you start to win, when things start to go better, who it's like, Lord, it gets weird. I keep forgetting, Shanth, but I'm going to send you the first few episodes of From. You'll love it. If you're a horror, fantasy, sci-fi fan, absolutely, man. And hey, you're in the area, man. If you ever want to get together and have some freaking, Mexican food up the road, just holler at me, man. Ricky Dane, I've been watching Grim Life Collective for a long time. They are great. They are fantastic. And let me tell you something, man. You go Google anybody and you will find people who are like going, oh, you'll find an angry ex. You will find somebody trying to tear somebody down. But when you find the right person, and I was actually looking at it, since he met Jessica and their relationship blossomed and became everything it is, their success went truly supernova. They are the goofiest, cheesiest in love couple who love horror, and I am sure they are not perfect, and I don't need them to be, and I don't need any clout from them. I like seeing people succeed doing what they love, and I'm doing what I love when I'm doing Nosfero, and I want it to be the biggest success it could possibly be. That's why I'm here. And if I'm not promoting it more, or as much as, I don't even know how I could, frankly, but I put everything into it. And the one thing I haven't put into until today, which is why I'm drinking a Sprite and why I had my first day sitting in my living room in a year and a half, just relaxing in the middle of the day. Every day, get up, come to the desk. Every day, get up, come to the desk. Or family, or stuff, which I love. That is the job. I love being a dad. I love being a husband. It's great. But holy cow. That's right, man. Double impact tonight. Yep. It is going. Been working on my tan. There you go. Down in Florida. Let's see here. Gabe posted 7 p.m. Pacific time. No, it's going to be 7. We're having it back at 7 because of all the scheduling insanity. John, there you go. Oh, yeah, getting that nice Florida tan. That's right, Cranberry Langers. Hey, to everybody. Random McRanderson. I took a degree in architecture, and our critiques were way more brutal. God, how far behind? Holy cow. Okay, I'm going to skip a bunch of chats. I'm sorry, Cecil is the best, but I'm so far behind. This is absurd. Holy cow. So was my mom, Shanth. There you go. There you go. Joining a group is hazardous. There's always some control freaks, and groups inevitably carry some baggage you may not want to share. Yeah, that is true. Baptized on Halloween, that's crazy. It is true. What is up, Ray Haylock? Tug's web guy. Respect to you. And Tug. And I know I've mentioned this to you before, but Tug was another person. When I saw Tug getting doxxed and people were going after his kid and his family and all the stuff he was going through, I sent Tug That Umbrella Guy painting image. And I want to send him the original. So if you actually know Tug and if he's up for it, tell Tug I did that painting for him. I emailed him. I know a lot was going on. This was years ago, guys. I even did a painting for Doomcock. I showed these on streams. Not because when people were under attack at various points in this space, I just think it's wrong, man. And you're never entitled to people having your back when you're under attack, but you hope to God that you've got a couple people around you can be certain of. Who are going to go, excuse me, shut the fuck up, you don't know this dude. Or who the hell are you? That's what you need, man. And I'm not saying that but it's such a strange thing when you get an anonymous psychopath. It's like, good Lord. And I watch that happen to people, and I'm like, no, Tug didn't deserve that. So shout out to Tug, and I'm falling further behind in the chat. Do you think that you'll have a good pace for your next book? Do you mean in terms of, do you think I will be faster? No. My next book is, no and yes. My next book is going to be a reprint. My next original book, I have an idea for it. I know what the sequel, what I'm going to do with the sequel to Nosfero, but I have an interesting idea that I want to try, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. So, there will be a second chance for Nosfero at a much higher price, because this is ridiculous. Because, I don't mean like much like $1 million, but I'm going to charge more because this is crazy. With inflation and everything else, this is insane. And the amount of time it takes. But getting back, the next original book I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, I think what I want to do is I want to share the process of doing the concept phase and sell it as an art book for book 2. I'm not going to give away the story and the plot, but I want it to actually make an art book because, one, those are fun. They're easy to do, and I need a break before a painting break before I go into the next issue. But I really want to do that. So if you guys think that's cool, with this next kind of Swamp Thing, headless woodsman story that I'm doing, it's going to be super Halloween and fun. Let me know if that sounds like a cool idea to you, because I'd love to do that. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Ray. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. And either way, send my love to Tug, man. Send my love to Tug. You know, if he ever wants to hire me commission me for a pinup or anything for the That's Umbrella Guy stuff, tell him to hit me up, man. Be my pleasure. Because he has entertained me so much. And I think I emailed him a while back, because with the very first anime Matsuri he went to, he did so much streaming walking around there. It was like I was there, and it was a fun series of stream. I don't know how long ago that first one was. Yeah, super happy for Tug, Mug, and Lug, and Bug too. Absolutely right. When his channel blew up for the depth trial, yeah, he was on that early, man. I've got a meeting with him in a few days. I'll bring him up for it. Absolutely great. Send him my best and his family my best. That's the main thing. And tell him I appreciate that stream and all the stuff he does. Shanth, how much time do we have before Double Impact starts? Holy cow, it's 8:02. You have 2 hours by my clock, because we're starting at 10. So it's I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Time, John. I was just wondering if you had a good idea of what to expect for your pacing. What do you mean in terms of pacing? You're gonna have to be more specific, because I have been writing comics all day and painting for a year and a half, and my brain is not that I'm not. It's funny. It's like, what do you do to relax? I'm gonna paint some. It's ridiculous. Okay, 10-hour time. Yep, you got it, John. Crunchyroll, despite its defects, does live streaming, and you can talk to people at cons. Very cool. 10. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, well, it's fine. My God, guys, we've got different time zones all over the world, and we've got various different things happening, as always, Oh, cool. The comment above explains it. Gotcha. Makes sense. So I mean, my plan is, and my thinking is, I want to get to know these characters before I go into it, because one of the things that was tough, and fun at the same time on Nosfero, is I was kind of learning these characters. I've got Greylock, who is the werewolf, whose actual name that we're gonna get into why that's his name, which is great, and I better make a note of that, because I almost forgot to script that in today. But his name is, just keep reminding me, Shanth, make sure you write in the script why his name is Greylock. But I do have notes. I do have it written out. Is Fenrir Malin, and that's my shout out to Coach, man. That's my shout out to Coach, and I sent him actually the page with some of the text on it the other day, and he was like, "Oh, nice, cool." Coach. I love Coach. He's Michigan through and through. But there's and he's another person who has been really supportive of what I'm doing and commissioned me to do some work. Good dude. I mean, John is really funny, because if John says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. That's just the way he is. You see what you get, and it's like, we've got so many great people here who've inspired me. And again, I know it's like Michael Bancroft has been big for me artistically. I've always been inspired by Narwhal stuff. I've got Nosferatu facing me. It was so fun to do a pinup for him, and he owns one of my originals, one of the few. Great dude, And just as an artist, I like his work. I don't always catch his streams, but I always catch his work whenever I can, unless I'm like completely working on Nosfero. Let's see here. I stand with Comicsgate's founding father, John Malin. Yeah, I say first man over the wall. He painted a lot of boobies. Yes, he did. I was wondering if you had a better idea of the pacing for putting out the book, not getting overwhelmed, how many pages you'll get done, by what date, how to pace yourself. No, I do not, and I never will. Let me say this. Fritzy Schnitzel, I just backed Nosfero. Cheers, you are, oh my gosh, let me get you a cheerleader coming. Charge! You legend, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. 565 backers. Thank you, Stephen Rockwood. Much appreciation. Can you guys tell it's been a long year and a half? Much appreciated. Hail Blackjack, it is great to see you just back, Nosfero. Thank you so much, Fritz. I can't do it. I'm done. Snuggy Jr., another one of my brothers. Shout out to you, my friend, and yeah, another great person in this space. And just again, you know, Snuggie, you know how it is. I'm always. This is a place that's really fun, and I want to say this. I guess this will be sort of one of my closing thoughts here before I head out and get myself ready for. Oh man, can you hear that? Oh my gosh, get myself ready for the next stream. And it's this, right? The independent space, by whatever name, whether it's Comicsgate, whether it's Iron Age, whether it's RAZÖRFIST, whether it's Ricada, whether it's Ripaverse, you know, whatever all these, or Grimlife Collective, for God's sake, or Townsend's, or any of these awesome spaces out there. I would say this: they are fun spaces, and if you can be miserable in them, you can be miserable anywhere. So stop coming in here and coming into these spaces if you want to be miserable and if you want to bring other people down. You're probably going to come in here anyway, but it's like, there's the door. Get out. Because we are working too hard to make something that entertains us, helps us to escape, uplifts us, and shows the virtues of hard work. Not the virtues of, politics in its truest sense, which is to say manipulating groups of people and to meeting your own self-serving needs by playing people against each other. That's not what we're about. So, yes, indeed, we prefer to talk about stuff that... Where did it go? Just jump. We prefer to talk about stuff we love. Amen. And when you see Anna talking about Star Wars, when you see... and Star Trek, for that matter. Shout out to Bill Shatner. When you see Cecil talking about whatever he wants to talk about, let alone comics and his understanding of comics' history. When you see any of us Ethan talking about Sopranos, John talking about malt liquor, whatever it is, the folks who are in here, we love being here. It's great. And I thank them for their entertainment as individuals. And it's a pleasure to build something with them as a group of individuals. Let's say it that way. And that's what makes it great. Shanth, will you accept constructive criticism on the stream? No. Thanks, Stephen Rockwood. I love you, man. Oh my gosh. Canadian $22 from Random McGranderson. God bless you. Been a while since I sent you a super chat. Keep on keeping on. Random McGranderson, you are a rock star. Let me send you some love. Where's my cheerleader? Here we go. Charge! And as promised, a swig of Sprite, which I don't even think I've been keeping up with my promises because, again, I'm a liar and I never fulfill my projects. That's the way it is, I guess. Let me see here. Definitely we build up our peers. Absolutely right, guys. I've had so much, except that guy. I'm telling you what, man. When I saw the bookmark come off the press, man, from Phoenix, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, man. I freaking loved it, man. It's one of my favorite things I've seen in terms of my stuff, man. It's great. Outside of my art books and soon to be Nosfero. With success, every way you put in content materials do good. That's right, guys. Make it happen. Boobies are nice too, Mr. Monkey. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why I'm here, man. Wait till you get the book. It's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, let me see here. Critique. Why... I know, I'm sorry. I have such a great joke, but Mrs. Enjeti would murder me. I don't know, John. I'll make sure at the end. That's absolutely right, guys. So I will see you guys on Double Impact. Much love. You guys are the best. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When it is a group of hardworking individuals and not collectivists and not community fanatics. When it's a bunch of individuals and we do our work and we show up, it works. So God bless you all. As I always say, speak easy, stay gold, and most importantly, keep the faith, and we'll keep doing this stuff. All right, you guys? Much love. I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Keep it real, Stephen Rockwood. You know, you're the first channel member, Alpha Omega. All you channel members, thank you for backing me. I appreciate it. It's going to happen one of these days. You know, it always happens sooner or later on a stream. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Timmy Mello. Thank you, Ray Haylock. God bless you. Thank you, Tammy. Much love to you, my friend. That's right. Gosh, you can't stop him. Take care, Snuggie Jr. God bless everybody. Take care. I will see you guys so much sooner than you can imagine over on Gabe's channel for Double Impact. Take care, Jeremy Burtz. Much love. We're going to be talking about Gran Torino, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, and StreamYard is back so I can host some of my brothers as they launch their cool stuff. Talk to you guys later, yeah, let's keep doing this thing.